Today we're going to be taking a look at people lying online for some reason from the subreddit r/thathappened. Before I got off the plane at Munich, I asked the air steward if I could have a word with the pilot. He gave me a knowing smile and took me to the cockpit. Here's the conversation. Me flying over the distance we've flown at the speed we've flown at. As the pilot, you'd have had to dip the nose of the plane at regular intervals to allow for the curvature of the earth. Do you do that? Pilot, no I don't. So you just fly straight, no nose dipping at all. Pilot, correct. So does that mean you're flying over a flat surface then? Yes. So there's no curvature? No. No curvature. My God. You have infiltrated the truth. So if there's no curvature, that means Earth is not a sphere. Correct. It's flat. Knowing smiles all round. Oh, what? All pilots are in on this? Everyone who's ever been up high is in on this. My days. Recently, I was at a birthday party with my 8-year-old son. He removed the artificial green frosting on his cupcake and then enjoyed the rest of it with friends. Later, I asked him about it. Here's what he said. I could tell that bright green frosting had artificial dye in it. It just didn't look natural. And anytime I eat those artificial colors, they make my stomach hurt for a long time and I can't control my body, so I decided to just eat the cupcake. Boom. Why does this make me so happy? What do you mean you can't? I don't know what he means by you can't control his body. Is it like the E numbers or something? But okay, you know, I believe the child said this. They're 8. It's not like she's saying a 3-year-old said this. I believe this. I asked him what he wanted to accomplish in kindergarten, and he said he wanted to learn how to successfully transplant a variety of native plants without them dying, and also get really good at chess. So that's what we're doing. This is homeschool. Isn't like kindergarten for like 4 or 5-year-olds? There's no way he said that. So this really happened the other day. Me at Walmart Xbox section. Rando, do you play? Yeah. What game? ESO. No way. What's your game tag? I closed my eyes in hesitation. Matthias? The Matthias? Am I the only one? I've seen others. XL Matthias? LX? No, those are I's, not L's. There. So you're the Imperial guy that no one can kill. I've been killed many times. Well, fuck. I can't kill you. It takes an entire army. What's your game? What the? No, this did not happen. What's your game tag? I can't give that out. My dad told me not. What did you? Did you interact with a 9-year-old? Understood. So you're the actual Imperial. I cut him off. Yes. The Matthias Lacomus Emicus, Count of Chandelhow, Lord of House Emicus, former legate of the 15th and retired from the 1st. Oh my God, you're a nerd. I open carry every single day. The best situation I ever had was when an elderly woman approached me in the grocery store and said, I want to thank you for carrying here. I feel so much safer. So I abandoned my cart and took over hers and said, let me escort you in your shopping today. Walking and talking with her in the grocery store made my day. But when I walk around Sainsbury's with a Glock, everyone screams and runs away and I get arrested. I was first in line at a shop counter and 2 indigenous people behind me. The shop assistant looked at us and said, okay, who is first? I said, they are, of course. They have been here for more than 60,000 years. I don't think they've been in the line for 60,000 years. The 2 indigenous people smiled and thanked me as I stood aside. Yeah, you did that, mate. You definitely did that. And then everyone cheered. I am 6 foot and sent my wife to the hospital because they said she had an ovarian cyst and I popped them from going too deep. Let's just say all the nurses that passed by the room either gave me a thumbs up or were flirt with me after they read the charts. Yeah, right, of course they were, mate, of course. I was approached by an odd-looking 20-something guy that said, fuck, dude, how tall are you? You're huge. I said, 6'3", with my boots on. He said, wanna join our BLM movement to stir up more shit? I took off my sunglasses and glazed hard at him and showed him my belt buckle. What? You showed him your belt buckle? He screamed like a little girl and ran off. He knew an ass-kicking beatdown was next for him. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? This did not happen. I don't even like the smug look on this guy's face. I'm on board a Delta flight right now. The person sitting next to me in first class refused $100,000 to remove her mask for the entire flight. No joke. This was after I explained they don't work. She works for a pharma. You did not offer anyone $100,000. What are you talking about? Steve Kirsch, you do not have... I doubt you have $100,000 to offer someone. Okay, I mean, I'm seeing apparently his net worth is in the hundreds of millions. I don't know how reliable that is, but... okay. If someone offered me $100,000, I would take my mask off. I just don't believe Steve did offer someone that. My spouse recently had a blood draw. The RN said she knew immediately he hadn't been vaxxed because his blood was beautiful. Most of the blood she sees now is thick like sludge. Doing IVs, the veins are clogged many times. She's had to suction the vein just to get an IV in. The blood is like sludge, is it? Well, it's all clotted and stuff, and everyone just has loads of blood clots they don't know about. Yeah, of course. Obviously, everyone is against harming animals. All right, where is the story going. I was at a bar last night. A guy I didn't know well yet bought his dog. Not sure if that's the best idea. Doggo seemed very overwhelmed, but that's beside the point. I love animals as a concept. What does that mean? I love animals as a concept. Just say you don't like animals. Him laughing as a concept. I honestly don't know how to deal with them. I never lived with any. I don't have a connection to them. Still, I want them to be happy, and I don't support their murder and the R words. Obviously, who doesn't? Oh, so you're vegan too? Oh, shut up. When I tell you his face fell as the realization hit, he said no and buried his face in his hands as he muttered something about how I'm right, best vegan gotcha I've ever had. Right. Think about the random woman that came up to me on the street today and proceeded to shower me with a 5-minute monologue about how I'm so incredibly beautiful. I can't even do a 5-minute monologue about anything. What do you mean she's just doing an improvised 5-minute long monologue about how beautiful you are? It not only blinded but also made her incredibly happy, how my smile made her day, and how she now has to pass by him more often only for a small chance of seeing my beauty again, etc. Let me tell you, I nearly cried. I think this might be my new Roman Empire. It didn't happen. Also, why have you got fucking pickles on your table? What is that? Do you just eat pickles like this? No, that's going to get clipped out. Are you just going to eat pickles like... Who eats pickles like that? I'm so embarrassed. We have a long layover, so I roasted a chicken for the airport. You roasted a whole chicken for the airport. You know they typically have food at airports. At security, they take my bag. The dude says, "My man, what you got in here?" He then pulls my shit out and yells a whole chicken, and everyone in line starts laughing at me, especially the bad hoes. I believe this happened because this is very embarrassing. My dad's mate overslept his alarm and had to get a flight within an hour, so he shoved all the clothes on his bed into his suitcase. But when he got to the airport, he found out he packed his fucking cat. I'm not even like, no, that did not happen. A cat would meow. A cat would be disgruntled at that and make noise. There's no way you pack your cat and not know unless it's the quietest cat ever. Okay, so this is apparently in reference to the Titanic. Been there, the tour guide let us swim in the water and you can actually see the wreckage when you go deep enough in. You can't go down by it simply by swimming. You can. I've done it. It was a bit cold, but quite nice to see. I was bored, so quickly swam back up after about 10 minutes. I don't think you're referring to the Titanic. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this guy's confused and saw a different shipwreck. But you could definitely not swim down and see the Titanic without dying. If there's any consolation to basically going broke in Vegas, I head down to get food in Paris, and right by the pizza place, there's this 40-something hot blonde, and she says hello and starts a conversation with me. And I'm thinking, oh boy, another working girl drumming up business. I tell her I'm going to go play poker, and she says, why don't I come to her room and get naked and fuck her brains out? And I said, how much? And she goes, I'm not an escort, I'm a porn star, I'm just holding you're cute. I'm just hitting on you. Good thing Southwest allows last minute flight changes. Yeah, mate. Like, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but yeah, I'm absolutely certain that happened. Bro, some random girl came into the men's locker room and asked me for my number while I was recording this. Yeah, of course she did. Yeah, because you're such a stud. A gym bro came up to me today and thanked me for dressing modestly at the gym. What? What are you talking about? No, they didn't. No one's ever done that. I asked my kids, would you rather have cash or stock in a great company? My kids, that's silly. Why would I choose cash when it's losing value? Obviously, stock in a great company is better. Yeah, I mean, maybe not all the time because stocks can crash. Like, any stock can crash. This was posted in r/unvaccinated. What in the actual fuck? My daughter-in-law had a DUI in Texas. The Texas probation officer offered to waive her community service if she got the COVID vax. Of course this happened. It's the fucking woke agenda or whatever. What in the fuck does one thing have to do with the other? How unethical. The more I see, the sketchier it gets. Yeah, this didn't happen, did it? What's the worst thing a woman has done on the first date? She literally asked what their most expensive drink was. The waiter met my eyes and the bro code kicked in. He just kept saying everything was out of stock. God bless him where he is now. I went back to give him a tip, but he declined. I believe... My voice has gone weird all of a sudden for some reason, but I believe this happens. Actually, do I? I don't know. I believe this is a plausible thing that could have happened. A post from an account called Eclipse Trades. I'm sure this person runs a legitimate business. 3 years ago, I got kicked out of high school. Today, at 19 years old, I just closed on my $2.3 million Miami home. Take risks in life. And there's a community note. The house was not purchased by Eclipse Trade. It's currently for rent. He's engaging in a form of advertising fraud to present himself as more successful than he is. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Imagine getting called out by a community note like that. Also, that is just a really ugly house. Going on a date tonight with $11 in my bank account. Let's hope he's not a feminist. Lol. Haha. He said in the first 3 minutes of the date, I follow you on Twitter. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I'd find it. That would be I find that weird. If I went on a date with someone off like, I don't know, Tinder or Hinge or something, and they went, yeah, no, I follow you on Twitter. Like, I'll get the bill. Don't worry. I'll be, I'm getting out of it. I had a friend who didn't take my advice about only wifing virgins, had a baby with this broad with a 15 plus body count. Yeah, who are the people that I feel as though it's basically just incels that give this advice of wifing virgins only. The baby came out and looking like a composition of the past 15 guys she fucked. The doctor said it had something to do with the sperm residue sticking to the vaginal. No, it did not. A 10-year-old could tell you that this is not how it works. How do you have such a low level of sex education? Just saw a man wearing a whole suit, nice watch, hair, shoes, looks sharp. I would guess he's an executive or business owner. I realised he was standing at a bus stop, so I realised he's probably got a job interview. So I stopped and asked him if he wanted a ride. He said, no, my story needs to have this part of my entire perspective today has changed. Yeah, that happens. Hey, my sister is thinking about getting her nips pit. Why are you talking to your sister about this kind of thing? I know you're not photoshopped, so is she allowed to see yours? I'm for real just gonna hand her my phone. The internet is full of naked women. You can just look this up. She won't let me see. I just offered because I'm taking her, and she's complaining about how all these model photos are fake as fuck. And I'm like, so that's why I'm not looking online. Of course. It doesn't affect me either way, so it's up to you. I don't care. I just told her I know some females who have them and I could try. Or you could just use the internet. Like, there is no shortage of naked women on the internet. Yesterday morning, while listening to an episode of my own podcast, you listen to your own podcast while going about your day. During my morning run, I twisted my ankle on a pine cone and fell. As you were listening to your own voice back, yeah. I was in so much pain, I nearly threw up and fainted. Unfortunately, I was sprawled right on the street. And though it was Christmas Day and traffic was light, there were still cars whizzing past me. Eventually, I crawled over to the curb, called my brother and shared my location so he could pick me up. A few minutes later, a car pulled up. The tinted window of a white SUV went down to reveal a young woman that I'd never met before. Are you okay? Do you need some help? Still dizzy and nauseous, blood dripping down my leg. I started to respond, but before I could finish saying no, she blurts out, oh my God, are you, I love your podcast. Of course, such a popular podcast. In the middle of the street, me trying not to hurl my breakfast into the pavement, she continues to say, your podcast. It got me through a real rough time after my father passed. There was a catch in her voice which instantly triggered a prickle in my eyes that had nothing to do with my ankle. I explained that my brother was on the way and I thought of my own father and mum, nephew, sister-in-law, husband and dog, all tucked away in my home enjoying a leisurely Christmas morning. Oh, that's a relief. Well, this is amazing that we met this way, she said before driving off. Yes. Amazing, I agreed. Of course, mate, yeah. And then everyone driving past claps. This was posted in the Facebook group Taylor Swift Sucks. I took my son to a Taylor Swift concert one day, wasted so much money on that witch because my son thinks she's such a hottie. But when we went to meet her, my son tried to kiss her and then she slapped my son and pushed him to the ground. What? Oh, I can't believe this. I was flabbergasted. Is this a singer or a WWE wrestler? My son ran off crying and I yelled at that demon. Oh yeah, and now I found out she's in a cult. Oh! I'm at Walmart with my niece and I saw this guy yelling at his girlfriend because I guess she forgot to grab some items he needed from another aisle since I heard him say, you suck at remembering things. Next time, just stay in the fucking car. And I was already passing by them, so I told the guy to relax and he was like, don't get involved. And I was like, you're yelling at your girlfriend in public for everyone to see and hear. Someone is bound to get involved and it's this guy. He's got his big muscles. Oh, you better stop. And then my 6-year-old niece said to his girlfriend, you deserve someone who talks to you nicely. And she looks at her boyfriend and told him that she's been secretly talking to her mum about moving back in with her so that she could get away from him, and she broke up with him, and then high-fived my niece for giving her the boost she needed. Way! Yeah! Can we get a round of applause for my niece for helping get someone out of a toxic relationship? Yeah, it's simply that easy to get out of a toxic relationship. Have a 6-year-old tell you that you deserve to be talked to nicely. Absolute gold on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. The posts on there are just so like it's just people like licking their own ass. It's incredible. What is the most rewarding job in the world? Being a parent, for sure. Recently, I was having a coffee with my girls in a well-known shop. It was clear they were extremely understaffed, and although we waited about half an hour for the coffee, we patiently sat at our table. Out of sudden, my daughter got up and started cleaning the tables around. I asked her why she's doing it, and her reply made me realize how proud of a mum I am. Mum, there are only 2 people serving in the shop. They are very busy, so I am helping. Mum, you have raised us better. really well, and just because we are lucky, not everyone else is. Yeah, they definitely said that. I can't lie, my heart was pounding with joy. The barista saw her, and after a few minutes came to our table and handed us a free coffee card for our next visit. It was joyous, not so much for the free coffee, but for the look of appreciation in her eyes. I wanted to share this with you all, especially at this time of year. Teach your children manners and to help others. The reward is priceless. Of course. Don't know what this is in context to, but someone says, that sounds tough. Not really. The first time someone pointed a gun at me, I didn't flinch. I stared at the person and said, so help me if you pull the trigger. I will enact my fury. Did you call the police afterwards? Well, no, because a good scare and tussle will do. If I can teach them a lesson, then it's fine. Was it unloaded or something? Well, I made them drop it and scared them off because the side of the gun is vulnerable. So a swift slap will drop it and it works. Have you been trained in self-defense before? Nope. Just saw through the person, predicted the movement. I have a talent to not flinch and predict movement. Ooh, all right. Do you flex us pose in the mirror at the gym? I know some people do and take pictures or record themselves. Personally, I save that for when I get home. No, I actually tore people's egos and skulls down. I'm not really one to brag or be like that, so I prefer to walk in silence. He's just a Sigma. He's just a Sigma lone wolf. Like and subscribe if you love lying online.